What do you know about Canada, the United States, and Mexico making deals to form some sort of super alliance of the North Americas?
So DNA, I believe the acronym is Declaration of North America. The president of Mexico, the president of the United States, and the prime minister of Canada got together and signed a declaration to essentially erase the northern and southern border of the US. I guess going forward, and the date is January 10 is when this was signed. Going forward will be one nation, one country kind of thing. So the whole North American continent will be one country kind of thing.
What?
Yeah, it's the document is on the whitehouse.gov. You can see all the documents there. There's also information like meetings and stuff that leads up to January 10 signing that has like debriefs of the meeting with the Mexican president and debrief of the meeting with Canada, the Canadian Minister, and so the days before that actual signing on January 10th, there's actual documented notes, I guess, on the whitehouse.gov website.
So I saw something in the group chat about monetary, about how this will ultimately end with them trying to create not one world, but closer, three major countries coming together to create a new currency. Is that what you're seeing from this?
Not really. I didn't really see it in that sense. I saw it more like the destruction of the American culture
Mhm.
because the American culture is a melting pot of various cultures here and there. And the premise behind that is you have rights. You're free to do what you want within the bounds of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
Right.
Um,
But it's
countries
a
like
it's a structured melting pot with
yeah,
those rights and laws and everything. So they're it's still a melting pot, but I guess melt it so much with their own laws, their own religious backgrounds, their own heritage,
yeah, yeah.
that kind of stuff. Mix throwing it all in at one, trying to commit total chaos, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's the United States. But then if you add in Canada and Mexico, like they have the most restrictive weapons laws. They have more restrictive legislation on free speech and stuff.
Mhm.
They're a lot less free if you want to think about it that way.
Mhm.
There's much more laws governing their people. There's a lot more taxes that is imposed onto the people. And I think what is being done by combining all the countries is they're trying to squeeze out the American dream, the American way of life, so that they can impose more stricter control over the population.
Yeah, so it's that's like a real culture war. So instead of slowly blending it into the already built melting pot of the United States, they're trying to just open the floodgates on both ends, throw all of that culture into it, and with culture comes laws and standards.
Yes.
So by opening it, I mean, if you got two, I don't know what you would call Mexico, but Canada tyrannical
Mm.
for sure. By opening those floodgates, mixing everyone into that melting pot, it throws a lot of your rights out and a lot of totalitarian governmentism into the mix, I suppose. And I think that could be the only real reason for it, especially when you mix those three together, especially Mexico with the United States and Canada, you're going to have chaos. Well, how are we going to fix this chaos?
Oh, yeah, you
We're
you
going to
are
take your rights
because
away for safety.
yeah,
We've been
down
seeing that.
south you got the cartels. Up
Yeah.
north you got the politicians and the rule of the crown because there's technically Canada is still part of the crown. Well, the the previously crown person
Oh
that
no
passed
shit
away.
it is. You seen
Yeah,
their money's got her face on it. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
the country to the north is ruled by one person, and they're used to that. They're used to being subjugated. The country to the south is used to chaos through the cartels.
Crazy
Like,
idea. I
and
could see
you want
lots of
us,
states subseding or seceding from
yeah,
the US real quick and forming their own armies. I mean, National Guard for sure, but
yeah,
I think they're doing it more with I think what this angle is they're really going for is policies. And that's what it seemed to define in there with for one, gosh, how do I say that? Inclusion, right? For the like trans and all that stuff, that kind of inclusion policies. But they also talked about global warming and energy, the energy crisis. I think this is the big energy crisis thing. They're trying to get on the exact same page because if you looked with, I don't know, things like COVID, all the countries were doing kind of the same thing, but at different times in different ways, right? And it didn't really work,
right.
especially when I think the ultimate aim there was for complete failure all across the map. But because of the laws and stuff, it each one started falling, dominoes started hitting, and other countries were like, yeah, we see this, and we all kind of learn from it a lot quicker. Now, if we're all on the same page doing the same things at the same time, it's going to hit us all in the same way, and we're not going to be able to respond accordingly in different kind of steps. It's all going to be just one big domino fall instead of little ones here and there and there, and then we start pushing back. Very interesting, especially yeah, with I guess we're now sending super sophisticated tanks to Ukraine that it was promised we were never going to send them, and now I guess Mr. Vice President Joe Biden today just said that we're sending them. So World
Yeah,
War
some
Three,
some of the
guys.
Canadian people are also pushing back on that because they don't have those high-tech weapons, and they're complaining that why don't you have us use that and us send our current old equipment to them? So the Canadian army is also complaining about that because they could use it, you know, new high-tech stuff. Why give it to them while they could use it
I can tell
in
you
their
why.
own arsenal?
Just like Australia, just like Canada, they're slave countries. So they're not meant to have their own military that could actually defend itself. They're meant for one of these great superpowers to walk in and take control and be like, thanks for setting up the place. I
The
think that's the
Commonwealth.
whole, yeah, that's the whole idea of them is okay, you ran it, you're good, we got everything we need here. We're moving in real quick to use you. That's why you don't give it to them, because if you were to go move in there, they could fight you off. But now they're not. I don't know. It's starting to smell like really, really like the whatever that smell is, that plastic smell that comes on like all Chinese products. You know what I'm saying? The hint.